The traditional Hong Kong bakery is an institution like no other, commonly offering a wide range of deliciously doughy and sweet treats that fill the air of the surrounding neighbourhood with an aroma that is arguably the most alluring of all the foodie scents in the city. What's more is the interesting history inherent in these establishments, with Hong Kong baked goods being very much the product of local exposure to Western cooking techniques and the introduction of the European oven to Hong Kong during the colonial era. However, rather than completely emulating their Western counterparts, local bakers dreamt up their own creations to cater to the local palate, and the result was a range of breads and pastries that today is completely unique to Hong Kong. There are thankfully still a few traditional bakeries surviving in the city, all of which have their own charm. But one of the most well-known of these establishments is Happy Cake Shop in Wan Chai. This bakery has been a focal point of the community since opening all the way back in 1979. And today we're going to visit to try out a few of their popular offerings in order to see just how happy this place makes us. This is Sam Eats It.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this beautiful day, and we're here in Wan Chai, which is one of Hong Kong's oldest neighbourhoods. So it stands to reason that in amongst all the historical landmarks that you'll find around here, you'll also find one of the city's most reputed historical bakeries. The story of Happy Cake Shop begins with its founder, Wong Ping, who came down to Hong Kong from his native Shenzhen, which for most of the 20th century was a backwater village, to start a new life here. And when he arrived in Hong Kong, he apprenticed at a bakery in To Kwa Wan before finally setting out on his own and making his own bakery, opening Happy Cake Shop in 1979. Since then, Happy Cake Shop has become a Wan Chai institution, serving up all kinds of baked goods to the neighbourhood, and in the process becoming very close to the hearts of locals around here, while also garnering citywide fame. Now, just one quick glance at the outside of this place, and you can just tell that it is dripping in authenticity, and that makes me really happy. So now let's go in and check out the baked goods and see if they do the same and make Happy Cake Shop live up to its name. Let's do this. Hello, can I get a gao mei bao?
Hi.
And can I get a cream cone? Cream, yak go, right? Yak go. And do you have chicken pie? Yeah, yak go, right? 111.
Together the back.
Together the bag, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we've just gone and picked up some baked treats from the Happy Cake Shop, just across the road of course. And we got ourselves a cocktail bun, a cream cone and a chicken pie, because these are three of the favourites of locals and apparently very representative of the quality and the cost taste about this place. So yeah, let's dig in. First of all, let's enjoy the cocktail bun. So there's an interesting story about cocktail bun, gai mei bao. They were originally invented in the 1950s by a baker who was really averse, really had a problem with the practice of throwing away buns at the end of the day just because they hadn't been sold. You know, this baker thought, this is wasteful. These are a little bit old, but they're still edible. So what he began to do was to crush them up into like a fine powdery breadcrumby substance, and then he used to use them as a topping in buns for the next day. And he would also add over time coconut and sugar, and this kind of really never before seen concoction, it was kind of like something that a bartender might do at a bar, and hence the bun became nicknamed a cocktail bun. And now it was named in English first, cocktail bun, and then the translation was then made into Cantonese, and you can tell that translation has gone from English to Cantonese because in Cantonese it's gai mei bao, which literally means cock, chicken, tail, bao, bun. So there you go. And this is one of their most reputed, one of the most famous items on the menu. So let's give it a try, shall we? Really good. Lovely little interplay with the sesame seeds, that really soft kind of sweet bread, and then the really, really sweet filling. Kind of like savory but sweet, definitely more on the sweet side. Just a really nice treat. You can already tell there's a lot of care and quality that goes into making the bread. And yeah, that's really, really nice. Super buttery too, love it. So next up, let's try the cream cone. And this looks incredibly, incredibly sweet. Yeah, it's basically exactly what it says on the tin. It's a cone, it's very conical. It's like puff pastry, sweet puff pastry, filled with an ungodly amount of cream. So let's try it. That's really nice. A really nice snack, that. It's just shy of crispy, that puff pastry. It just crumbles in your mouth, very crumbly. And then that cream is just super smooth. Not overly sweet, actually. It's very like kind of tempered, you know, very like easygoing on the palate there. But yeah, it's just like traditional flavors, old school, not overpowering. You know, it's like these things are they just kind of transport you through your taste buds back to the past a couple of decades. And I can totally imagine how like school kids come in after a long day studying, on the way home, they would come and pick up some gorgeous treats like this. Really nice. And they've probably been doing it for years, decades. More than 4 decades, more than 40 years. Amazing. Very good. And finally, now let's finish it off with the chicken pie. Let's do this. I do love a good chicken pie. I am used to eating them in my home country, the UK. You can get a good chicken pie. Let's see how this one from a traditional Hong Kong bakery stands up. Really nice. And that crust is super crumbly and thick. And honestly, there's a little bit of sweetness even in the crust. And then you get into the meat, which is, yeah, really nice. Just a soft chicken flavor, not overpowering. And yeah, it just makes for, again, just an old-timey treat. You can really taste the decades. You're kind of rolling back the years eating these. And yeah, it's just really nice. The quality's there. And what's amazing about this place is that it's just so cheap. It's really good quality for a really nice price in a city where a lot of confectionaries, a lot of everything just is really sky-high price. This is Hong Kong. And that's it. We've just finished our 3 treats from Happy Cake Shop. And you know, it's really, like I said, a lot of simple flavors involved in these things. You know, there's nothing too fancy, nothing overpowering, nothing too sugary, nothing too meaty, nothing too rich, nothing too anything. It's just old-timey, good, old-school flavors, gentle flavors that just entice you in and really just evoke a lot of nostalgia for the decades past. There is a lot of atmosphere in this food, a lot of integrity, a lot of skill, and a lot of authenticity. Even though there's definitely a purpose and a need for the more commercial chain bakeries that you might find in the MTR stations or around the streets of Hong Kong, just there's nothing that, in my eyes, that can beat something like this, a really grassroots, mum and pop traditional bakery. So with that being said, I'm gonna go home and reflect on another very authentic, down-to-earth Epicurean journey in Hong Kong. And I suppose I'll see you next time on Sam Eats It. Thanks for watching.
concludes our trip to Happy Cake Shop. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if so, don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, feel free to let us know where you want us to check out next. Thanks for watching, and until the next feast, take care and stay hungry.